What is going on? I'm Zedmont. Two things at least for you. First, we're going to do some warships. Going to show you how to work around this annoying bug. If you know what's going on, you jump into warships, you think you've got a squad leader loaded, and then you don't. So a big I tried to tell you about this yesterday, but I wasn't quite 100% accurate. So big shout out to this commenter here. I think their name is Holden. YouTube changed how they display things, but here's the problem. If you attack and your landing craft doesn't have a squad leader in it, it is because of this landing craft slot. Do not put a squad leader in that slot. That is the simple workaround. You don't have to move them around. You don't have to unload heavies like I said yesterday. All it takes is keeping this slot empty of squad leaders, and then you won't have problems anymore. If you move this guy down into there and come back an hour or so later, it's going to be gone, and you're just going to have a plain Jane old heavy in there. So that is step number one on my details. Step number two is if you're considering going back for artillery, we need to fix our screenshot here. You guys know where artillery is. If you're thinking about going back for artillery, my answer to you is probably don't. I actually got 10 to 15 seconds slower when I got artillery, and that is because, of course, I'm using brick. If you're using Kavan, your mileage may vary, but with brick, how you go fast is by using her battle orders. And I was using like 5 battle orders yesterday. I went back and got artillery, and suddenly I was using 2 because you have to do like 11 or 12 artillery. It ends up costing 23 GBE, and bad things happen. Surprise, surprise. So they were in that little pocket where people either have 6 engine rooms, or they're waiting for 6 engine rooms, or maybe they're waiting for shock launchers. So don't go back. Better stuff is forwards, as you can see right about here. We've got troop health and troop damage and building damage and shock bombs and barrage and seekers and just forget the stuff before 5 and just hold the door. I got the FOMO and I thought maybe if I got artillery I could get to rank 22, and instead I got to rank 19. So enough of that. I'll show you my log. It has been off and on. 236, 238, 242, 242, 4. Now, I was thinking I would just do like an ASMR of beating 6 engine room bases that are like fully jacked. Like, these bases look so scary when you first see them. If you've got brick and laser rangers, they are so much fun. Like, I just love watching them melt. We get our meat shield out front. Putting your meat out front, as I had a comment earlier by Silverchair Rocks. We're going to clear a couple shock mines. Don't really need to do this with artillery, but it kind of helps. And then just to be super cautious, throwing all of the smokes. One of you did throw a smoky penis on my base yesterday. Had not seen that in a while, so that was nice to see, although I did pick up the win, which it's kind of funny when... Anyways, just watching this stuff melt, keeping the meat out front, watching those lasers just absolutely melt everything. Like, just... It's crazy how... I think I got like a 3-minute time, maybe a 3-minute 1-second time on a fully jacked 6 engine room base. So, and they do have only 50% building health, but they have 130% building damage. So just absolutely melting their base in a giant fashion. So lots and lots of fun there. Not a lot of skill required. You just kind of keep your meat close but slightly out front. And now we'll just do a couple hits that I'd like to share with you. But first, actually, you know what? But first. Sorry, I strayed from the script. Check that out. In gold at the 2 engine room level. I think I didn't show you this. I wasn't quite there yesterday, but now we are 94.4% win rate. You could get here in I've done 54 battles. I think if you're perfect, you could get to rank 16 in 49 or 50 battles with no losses. Give it a try. It is a lot of fun, and all you need to do to start with is max those landing crafts, max your heavies, and then all you do is you kind of like draw your defenses in this sort of angle because no one has flares, and you put like one down here and one up there, and then as you get more defenses, you slowly but surely add more good. I think your heavies are actually like tick 3 when you start, but your landing crafts are maxed. Don't worry about defenses. You just need to be a little bit more clever than your opponents. So lots of fun if you have an alt that's just collecting dust. Well, we're on the topic of workarounds or bugs. Talked a bunch about the engravings. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. Engravings do not work in warships, obviously, but the sabotage engraving, I warned you guys against using it in operation. Some of you are wondering why. This is why right here. If you go back to yesterday's operation, you can see that right about here, Lolo destroys Manticore, and someone else had already attacked Manticore, and you end up with, by the way, good attack, Lolo, pretty standard Manticore hit. Not sure if they were boosted or not, coming in and hitting the core with a bunch of good shocks, bunch of good timing. This attack is one that I struggle on. Lolo gets out the flares and the shocks and the critters at a good timing, and then the core doesn't explode. The core explodes, but not all the buildings do, so you actually have to send one more battle in to clear the cleared operation. Very, very strange. And this is why you gotta be careful when you're using that sabotage engraving. It causes all sorts of problems. Buildings are left up when they shouldn't be. And yes, it is a bug. Yes, I assume the devs will fix it. Not entirely sure how they'll fix it, to be honest. But, oh, didn't see that mortar at the back. And so Skywalker destroys the base that was already destroyed. Strangeness. So yes, there are some bugs in Boom Beach. I know everyone likes to jump up and down and scream about them, but the devs have done fantastically in my opinion, and now you know how to avoid them. So that's my job. The devs keeping Zedmot employed since 2015. Let's go. Let's get in. We'll do a hit or 3. Got to keep this somewhat short because New Year's resolutions to keep up. I don't do New Year's. Do you guys? Oh yes, thank you. So I am gonna get rid of these 2 shock mines just to be overly cautious, like I talked about. Just trying to make gosh darn sure that we get all of our stuff out front. We're gonna drop you. But I'm going to drop them like back to about there. And now I can get these guys out. And these guys and these guys and these guys. And then brick in behind. And finally, we're going to wait a teeny tiny little bit. And then get all of my laser rangers out. And we're going to go something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just getting everything possible underneath smoke. And then we're going to flare to about there with our meat shield dude. And then get our meat out front, as we've talked about being super duper important. And now, in theory, this base should be done. Like, just absolutely demolished. Just battle orders upon battle orders upon battle orders. And our meat dude is dead. So we're going to send our... What are those guys called? What is that guy called? The Zuka fan out front, just because why the heck not. Let's throw an artillery onto that rocket launcher, and we'll throw a couple onto that rocket launcher, and now we should be golden because nothing can range any of our troops. It wasn't pretty. It just shows that you can definitely screw this up a little bit, but as long as you get your troops generally in the right spot, it is so much goodness. And 2:30 is not a super fast time, but generally the people with the clump bases don't have a lot of offense. So you get someone like this who had spent a minute and 20 seconds to get through 2 engine rooms, 1 engine room, just grinding their way through, hoping that you fizzle. And those are the players that I like to beat the most. I definitely do keep a tech tree on that side of the equation, but I like to beat those players the mostest. I will show you how I've been attacking 5 engine room bases as well, just because let's find a decent time. 242, not bad. 242, let's see, what are we getting? 242, let's go with a 242. Like, pretty standard hits, really. I'll just pause here, and what I'm generally doing is dropping on the right ramp, which not a lot of people are using, and sending my laser rangers like this. And then I send my meat down into here with my Zuka fan, and then they all kind of just go over there as a group. So we will show you the replay. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. And I see that I got a flag on that rocket launcher. That's to send the meat and the heavy towards that right-hand side or bottom side or whatever you want to call it. And then slowly but surely trying to smoke all of the rest of my stuff towards that final engine room. Generally speaking, you can send the Zuka fan. Zuka fan finishes first, and then you send them over there, and then these guys join them, and everything's happy, and I'll show you one more hit. I think that was that one. We'll show you this one just because it might help you. Some of you, I got a comment from some of you saying you are using brick. I know the popular crowd is using Kavan, but just a reminder that we're going to get heavy choppas at some time. So maybe heavy rushing with brick will be a thing again. And you won't have squad leaders, by the way. Should you be able to assign a squad leader to a heavy choppa is my... That seems like maybe? Let me know what you think about that. That just... Here we go. See how I mentioned that we got... And by the way, when you throw those flags, make gosh darn sure that you throw the meat shield first, then the Zuka fan. Otherwise, you end up with your Zuka fan hitting all of these mines and dying. So you don't want to throw them at the same time. You just throw with a little bit of a delay between the two. You guys know all this stuff. And then Brick slowly joins the fray and gets her very edge of her circle onto the Zuka fan. I've done a bunch of drawing, a bunch of explaining, a bunch of Z-splaining, probably over-explaining, but please do know that there's always one person who's like, I had no idea. So if you knew everything I just said, then you are better than 99% of the Boom Beach population. But the fact that you're here probably... Oh, come on, come on, come on, quality upgrade. Oh, research token. That is a sad, sad day. Trying desperately to get my armor rank up. I am only at quality 9. Need to get it at about 11 to get level 14 rocket launchers. I shall talk to you soon, though. Not a lot of news otherwise, just trying to get those details out to you, letting you know that there's a lot of fun to be had on warships and on the main base at the second. So we also have that cryo bomb, which is definitely helping with the fun. I've already done my operation attack, though. So as always, thank you for coming in. I'm Zedmont. You're awesome. Like, share, subscribe. Hit me up in the comments. I'll talk to you soon. Limited innuendos today. I'm Zedmont. Peace.